Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to the 25th selling results video. I really can't believe this. I say this every week, but I can't believe we've hit the 25th week now. I mean, we're a quarter of a way to 100 weeks, which to me would be pretty crazy to even reach 100 weeks for this. But anyways, just wanted to say that right off the bat. So thank you for everyone watching. Thank you, Lachanka Mania. You'll hear this probably in the next video as well. But thank you again for the review video of the autograph card that you guys got from me. It was a huge honor to do the autograph card. Made me feel famous for a second. But anyways, that's besides the point. So anyways, let's get into the video this week. So this week I had about 5 sales. And there's some cards that I wasn't sure were going to sell, but they actually sold. So maybe it's due to the Pokemon bull market right now. But the first card that you're seeing on the screen that sold this week was the Tyranitar from Celestial Storm. This card I got from the LGS store. I thought this one actually was going to sell at the LGS store sooner because I think I seen it prior to when I picked it up from the trip that I got this card. I saw it a time before, and there was a good amount of time in between that time to the time I picked up the card. But long story short, this card sold after a few rotations on eBay. I wasn't sure if this card was actually going to sell because there was on automatic relist and it relisted at least 3 or 4 times. So I was a little skeptical that it was going to sell, but this card ended up selling for about $4. And after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, comes out to about an eBay net profit of $2.44. So I know the Celestial Storm Tyranitar was before not that expensive in terms of market value according to TCG Player. I don't know what it is now since we're in the bull market, so a lot of prices for a lot of cards have shot up. So I remember this one wasn't too expensive, but that's still pretty good in terms of like order earnings for me from eBay's net profit there. So the next card is the more interesting card. So this card I also picked up from the LGS store, and this is the Kingdra Ex promo card from Shrouded Fable. And this card was interesting because there is a print dent on the top of this Kingdra. I did not notice that when I went to the LGS store. And it's a really faint one, as you see on the screen. I tried to show it. And when I sold this card, I put on the eBay listing a picture of that print dent. I wrote in the description that this is a great binder card because it has a print dent on the top. It's not anything that anyone did. I think it just came that way maybe from when it was getting printed. And this card, I really was not sure I was going to be able to sell because I marked this as lightly played, even though it really is like a near mint card. When it has a dent like that, it does reduce the value quite a bit. And I thought I saw in the past when I was making the listing for this Kingdra that another one similar to this with like a print dent sold on there. So I remember the first one sold for about $12-ish, I think. $10 or $12-ish on eBay that had the print dent originally. So I mimicked the eBay listing off that card. But there were not many cards that were quote unquote lightly played that were sold of this promo card, because a lot of them aren't really lightly played since Shrouded Fable is a relatively new set, and these Kingdra EX cards are very much the more modern cards, so they haven't been really played with as much. So I was very surprised that this card actually sold, and this card got relisted, I want to say about 5 times. So I really wasn't sure this card was going to sell either. I had this card originally at 12, which at the time was actually kind of high. So I lowered it down towards market, which is around $10. And when the listing was ending, I saw that there was a bid for $10. I was like, okay, cool. That's great. You know, this card's going to sell. And by the time I checked back, when I got the notification that the card sold, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I sold it for 10. That's enough for my margins. I had to lower it to market. That's cool. The bidding went up all the way to $16 for this card. I actually was floored, and the buyer paid for it straight away. They really wanted this card. So I was just floored myself. I was like, whoa, $16. And just based off the Mimic Brew video of this week for the hottest cards of the week, apparently Kingdra Ex is now relatively around market price at $16. So I'm kind of at a loss for words, especially because there are not many lightly played Kingdras that are sold. I think the last listing, if you look up on eBay, is literally this card for sold listings. So I kind of was amazed, but this card was sent out and it went to a good home. So this card sold for about $16, and then after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, came out to about an eBay net profit of $12.63. Now, that sounds pretty crazy, but in the grand scheme of things now with the bull market from Mimic Brew's video, I think the Kingdra near mint market price is sitting at around $16. So that's crazy to me. Like, the bull market right now is super crazy. I can't even keep track of it, and that's a whole other story. But the next card that I got sold this week is the very last Gyarados EX card. So far, I've sold a total of 6 of these cards, and this one sold after its first rotation on eBay. And the Gyarados cards, realistically, I don't really make a profit on. But the fact that they get like quick sales for me is okay, just because for me, inventory, I kind of want to move faster. And also, if I wanted to build up just some sales on eBay or get some feedback, like, this is a great card for me to do that. And this card came from the trade, so at least the cards that I traded for, they were going to sit for a while, but this card I knew was going to move. So this card sold for about $2 on eBay, and then after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, came out to about an eBay net profit of 73 cents. So really not much there, but the fact that I've sold 6 of these cards now is pretty crazy. I believe these EX cards are usable in maybe the actual Pokemon TCG, if there are players for that, because I feel like most people that use or collect or purchase Pokemon cards are usually collectors. I don't know too many that are actually into the Pokemon TCG as much as like Yu-Gi-Oh, where when you actually buy the cards, most of them are for actual players than the actual collecting side. I mean, it's a little bit more mixed with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I noticed more of that. It's a little bit more playable, so that is just something to note. But the fact that 6 of these sold to me is just crazy. So I don't have any more Gyarados EXs at the moment, but that is definitely a card that I will watch out for in the future. So the next card that sold was a Lapras EX card from Stellar Crown, I believe. And this is the second one that I sold. The first one I sold to a local seller, and this one I sold online, and I got this in terms of the trade. So I traded a Iron Hands EX card that I got from a Craigslist listing way back that I wasn't able to sell on eBay. I got this at the card show and trades for the Greninja EX that was in near mint condition, and this Lapras card. And this Lapras, I wasn't sure was actually going to sell too, because this one was on my eBay page for quite a while too. I think at least 5 listing rotations, and you only get 8 maximum before they start charging you. So it was getting close to the 8 marker. So I was really nervous that this one was actually going to sell, not going to sell, sorry. And I put offers on this Lapras and raised the price up a little bit, just because I thought I was going to get offers, and I got a couple offers. I tried to beat people in the middle. They didn't really want that. They kind of wanted it for a lower price, so from what I was asking for. So there are a couple deals that didn't go through, but I was surprised because I was busy. I came back. I kind of forgot that the Lapras was ending on that auction on that day, and I came back and looked, and the Lapras was sold. I was like, huh? I was really confused, and I looked at the listing and it was sold, and the person bid on it, and I was surprised just because an offer wasn't really made at the time for the Lapras. So someone just straight out bought it. So just really interesting there. I was actually looking for more negotiating when I put the make offer button on. I normally am looking for like negotiations. If I really want to set the price, I don't normally put the make offer button on, because the make offer button it allows more visibility, but if you don't really accept any of the offers, it's kind of like, why do you have the make offer button on? And I've been in that seat too, where I've tried to send offers to people for certain cards where they have the make offer button and they don't even respond or even entertain the offer. So I'm kind of like, why do they have the offer button on? So I didn't really want to fall into that category, but I don't know, maybe I did for this Lapras, but I did entertain 2 offers, but I didn't really accept them just because we couldn't really meet in the middle. So this Lapras card sold for about $7 on my eBay page, and after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, it came out to about an eBay net profit of $5.02. So even though I didn't fully make up like the full value of the trades because I paid a little bit on top for the Lapras, this still was a better deal because that Iron Hands I really would have taken a bigger loss on. So to have traded the Iron Hands for the Greninja and the Lapras, which have both sold now, in my mind, at least to me, that was a good deal just because these 2 cards moved and I was able to at least have some movement on my eBay page. So the last card that's this week that sold was the Galarian Articuno V from the trainer gallery. So I sold 3 of these. The first 2 I believe I sold for higher. These cards I picked up from the last card show I went to, and I thought that these cards were going to sell for more, but the actual market value for the Zapdos and the Articuno V from the trainer gallery has not really gone up. So these cards took a while to sell because I kind of priced it at where it was before, like not super high, just where it was before, and they didn't get much attention until I had to lower it down to the price that I sold at. So it is what it is. When I feel like when you're selling some of these singles, it's just a learning experience when you're selling single by single. But as long as you're learning, that's good, right? So this Galarian Articuno V sold for about $5.50, and then after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, came out to about eBay net profit of $3.72. So I guess this card had a little mini bidding war there because I think I listed this at $5, so a couple people bid it up to $5.50. I originally wanted to sell it for $6, but that's just how it goes. It got halfway there. But these are the 5 cards that sold this week. Definitely very interesting considering at the time I was selling these cards, I think I only had 9 or 10 active listings. So currently, as of recording this video, I only have 4 active listings. And right now I'm debating on getting more cards just because of the bull market. I mean, it's great if you're selling, but if you have to acquire inventory, it also is very expensive. So I'll just have to see going forward how much I can actually acquire. Otherwise, I might wait until the market drops a little bit, or I might have to pick up some lower end cards to maybe try and move those, or pick up some cards and hold them for a little bit longer. Not exactly sure, but that is how this week went out. I had 5 sales, which is a lot more than I even predicted to have this week. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.